Now I would request Shri Piyush Kumar, who is the MOC, to coordinate this session. Sir.
Once again, welcome to all for this panel discussion on coal gasification. We are fortunate that Shri Naveen Jindal ji, who is chairman of JSPL and the only running plant on coal gasification, is with us. We have invited eminent speakers, engineering consultants, technology providers, and actual coal producing companies, those who have planned to set up coal gasification plants, especially WCL, SECL, CCL and ECL, apart from Coal India Limited. The structure of the panel discussion will be that each speaker, he will be giving his thoughts for 5 minutes, and then we do not want to make it just one-sided discussion. So we will invite, we will be having corner's mic, we will be sharing with you, and then you can ask anything, questions. We have taken 3-4 topics which I think everybody should deliberate. One is about the business model, what we should adopt. There are a lot of discussions on BOO, BOM, LSTK, those things. Second thing is we will be discussing, because Rajiv Agrawal sir is here, who was member of the coal to hydrogen roadmap. So I think he will be dealing with this. And then we will be also discussing on CCUS, so that blue hydrogen can be produced. We will be having discussions on what should be the economic viability. And I will request you all, whatever questions you have, you can ask. We have eminent panel. I think everybody has been introduced to you. VR Sharma Saab is MD JSPL. You must have been listening to him. Kamal Saab is there from Simca, so he is senior scientist. He can deliberate on all the 3 technology which is there. Suman sir is there. He is director in Naveen, and he is also thinking about setting up of a methanol, lignite-based methanol plant at them. Then Shivaditya Sen Saab is there from Air Product. He is business development manager and director, and he will be on more on this thing. And we have from BHEL Srinivasan Sahab, who is heading the Trichy plant on indigenous coal gasification, and then Rajiv Agrawal sir, who is from EIL. He is taking care of the coal to hydrogen roadmap, and also one of the WCL coal gasification plant. So now first I will request Shri Naveen Jindal ji to give the keynote address and his address on coal gasification. Sir.
Thank you, Piyush. Good morning, everyone. All the esteemed guests on the dais. First of all, I'd like to congratulate Piyush Kumar ji and the Ministry for organizing this conference. It's very important that all of us keep meeting at regular intervals and exchange ideas. So a lot of you are aware that we at Jindal Steel and Power, we have invested in coal gasification in a large way. And for the first time in the world, this is an effort to make steel by using non-coking coal. So we had a dream that we want to set up a steel plant, a large steel plant in India, in Odisha, where we are right now, which is truly based on indigenous raw materials. That means otherwise every large steel plant is based on imported coking coal. Coking coal, then coke oven batteries, blast furnaces, that's the route. So to utilize high ash Indian thermal coal, the only way to utilize that for steel making is to gasify it. Because when we gasify coal, you are getting synthesis gas, which is nothing but say almost 60% is hydrogen, about 25-30% is carbon monoxide, and rest is CH4 and some other gases. So when we are gasifying coal, we are using the chemical energy of coal. We are using the chemical energy and then reacting this hydrogen and carbon monoxide with iron ore to produce DRI and then steel. Since coal gasification requires washed coal, we have to wash it, and the middlings we can use for power generation. So if you see, we are able to, that's how we are able to make steel using Indian iron ore and Indian coal. Now the question is, what do you do with CO2? Every time we burn fuel, any fossil fuel, CO2 is produced. The advantage in coal gasification is that we are able to extract, capture pure CO2 or highly concentrated CO2 which is above 90% pure CO2. So we are able to capture it, we have been capturing CO2. Now we need to put it to use. We need to start using this CO2, and for which we have a large team. We have many experts working on it, and our managing director, Mr. V.R. Sharma, he is spearheading this initiative, because we realize that as conscious corporate citizens, we have to be able to utilize the CO2. So we are looking at setting up a methanol plant. Methanol, you can utilize CO2, almost 1.5 tons of CO2 is required to produce 1 ton of methanol. So presently we are producing around 2,000, we are capturing around 2,000 tons of CO2 every day, because we are operating a plant at 40 to 50% capacity utilization. So that's a different subject that we want to encourage coal gasification. Today, unfortunately, there is a severe shortage of coal. And obviously, we can understand from the government point of view that most important is that there should be enough electricity should be available in the country. Because without electricity, we are not able to do anything. Neither would this hall be air conditioned, nor there will be this light, nor you'll be able to listen to me, right? So we are not able to do anything, whether it's a farmer or a student going to school. Everybody needs electricity. So obviously, I do feel, oops, I talked about electricity and suddenly electricity is gone, but we still have a lot of, light on me. So, to my mind, it's very clear that this situation occurred because of cancellation of coal blocks in 2014. If that situation had not happened, if Supreme Court had not cancelled all the captive coal blocks, then today India would have been producing more than 1 billion tons of coal. Power would have been available for less than 3 rupees, and coal gasification would have been a big hit. We would not have to encourage anybody to do coal gasification, because people would have seen a shining example of coal gasification. They would have seen Jindal Steel Power making money doing coal gasification, and automatically other people would have, rather than setting up blast furnaces, they would have set up coal gasification and DRI and steel making. So I do hope that with the efforts that the government is taking now, Coal Ministry has taken a lot of initiatives to encourage coal gasification, and the biggest one is obviously that in the auctions, whatever coal blocks we have got and we will be using for coal gasification, we would only be paying 50% premium. So that is the reason why we could get coal blocks back. Whatever coal blocks were cancelled by the Supreme Court in 2014, and that was the reason why we came to Angul, Odisha. Now we've got double of that. So we are grateful to Coal Ministry and Government of India, especially Prime Minister Mr. Modi, for realizing the importance of coal gasification. That coal gasification is a clean coal technology where we are able to capture CO2 and where we have the potential to use the CO2. Today, most of the coal is being used for power generation. Power, as we all know, can be generated from solar, wind, hydro, nuclear. You cannot make steel. And now, since the topic is hydrogen, so synthesis gas, like I said, is 60% is hydrogen. So there are, obviously, the technical people can explain it better, but the cheapest way to produce hydrogen is through coal. So through electrolysis process, obviously if electricity becomes very, very cheap, then obviously that is the cleanest, greenest way. But here, if we are able to utilize the CO2 generated in the process, then it's not green hydrogen, it is blue hydrogen. But it is, in my mind, it is as good and something which is proven and which can be done at a large scale. So I'm sure so many experts are here in this conference. I'm sure from their deliberations, we will all learn a lot, and we have to, I think in this journey, we are all together. We have to work with each other, we have to support each other, encourage each other, help each other, so that together we are able to have a sustainable future for ourselves and for our future generations. We are able to take care of the environment, and at the same time we are able to progress. So thank you so much for inviting me. Piyush Kumar ji had called me, I was abroad, but this is our commitment to this cause of coal gasification and development of a country, that every time we get any invitation, we are here in full force. Chairman, Managing Director of the company, we both are here. I had one call from Piyush Kumar ji to show that we are committed to this, we believe in it, and we are going to make it a success with support of everyone. Thank you. Jai Hind.